Honestly, yeah, I think the EU is trying to rage bait white supremacists. I think they're trying to rage bait the far right. I'm here for it, but she's white. They're gonna take her out on ethnic people, so I don't know if I fully, 100% support it. But let's get into this.
Ventures. Finally, Prime Minister Narendra, we both know our greatest wealth are our people. That is why I'm so glad that we are signing an agreement on mobility. We will facilitate the movement of students, researchers, seasonal and highly skilled workers. And this is also why we are launching the first EU legal gateway office in India. It will be a one-stop hub to support Indian talent moving to Europe in full alignment with EU member states' needs and policies. This is good for our economies. This is good for the friendship between our people. And this openness benefits us all.
If you don't know the context of this video, this woman right here, she is the head of the EU. And she's basically made a deal with India to import millions and millions of more Indian students and workers and whatnot. And yes, it actually probably is good for the economy. And I'm not racist, I've got nothing against Indians, but this might be the most retarded thing I've heard. We live in a very politically hot, a very charged environment right now. The right-wing people are emboldened. Every day they talk about immigrants, Southeast Asian immigrants, Black African immigrants. They're doing protests, they're doing rallies. Instead of solving this problem, instead of calming tensions, especially between races, you create a deal where you're going to force EU countries to take in more Indians. Really, bitch? You think that's what we need right now in 2026? And she doesn't realize this. I think she just accelerated the end of the EU because Brexit happened. How long ago? Like 6, maybe 7, maybe 8 years ago, something like that. And we survived. Obviously, the UK is declined, but you think other countries like Poland, for example, do you think they'd rather go through 8 years of stagnation or import potentially millions more Indians? What do you think the choices they're going to make? So it doesn't make sense to me. I think she just accelerated the end of the EU, and I don't know how she's going to come back from this. And guys, the only reason I'm taking this position, the only reason as an immigrant, as a non-white person that lives in Europe, is because I don't want these far right nationalists to grow. And anyone who remembers Brexit knows that one of the main reasons was over sovereignty. The far right was pushing out the narrative that the EU controlled the borders of the UK, which is absolute fucking cap. And yet, instead of reflecting on that, instead of reflecting on this big loss, they decided to import millions of more Southeast Asian people. What? Really? Or do you want the EU to break up? Do you want the far right to grow in power? It doesn't make sense to me.
As we conclude this 16th summit, let me reflect on another event of deep meaning. 2 weeks ago, India marked Makar Sankranti. It's the beginning of Uttarayan, the sun's northward journey. From darkness to light, from stillness to growth, from what was to what can be. And that is what makes our summit so unique and timely. The time is right for renewal, for fresh momentum, and for opening a new chapter in EU-India.
Lady, and I'm sure she's a nice lady, but nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. Because right now it seems like you're undermining the democracy of independent EU countries, and if they feel like their democracy is being undermined by the EU, what do you think is going to fucking happen? A fucking revolution, bro. And it's like, cool, you can have your nice speeches and you can break bread with the Prime Minister of India and whatnot. But once you start moving Indians into the neighborhoods, especially the poorer neighborhoods of these EU countries, you're not going to be smiling. Once the far right gains control of the EU and extremists gain power like they are in America, everyone's going to be pissed. No one's going to be laughing. One of the big reasons Donald Trump got into power is because he managed to put out this narrative that Joe Biden let America get invaded by millions of illegal aliens. And fair enough, you may say the Indian immigrants aren't going to be that they aren't going to be illegal, but I feel like that even makes it worse because you're doing it willingly. An increase in demand for houses pushes up prices. What do you think Gen Z and then Gen Alpha after are going to say about this policy in 20 years' time? Can't lie, right now this feels like a very unforced error. It didn't have to be made, and there's probably a deeper reason behind this decision. For example, a lot of European countries are on the brink of population collapse, and they probably need migrants to replenish. It's going to sound mad, but to replenish their population, I guess, because migrants on average have more children, and they need to somehow need to once again, this is going to sound fucked because it is fucked, but they need to, I guess, grow their tax base. So if a population collapse is imminent, how's the government going to fund itself? And the answer is migrants. And yeah, it's fucked. It is what it is. And if that's the real reason, then it's fucked, innit? It's fucked. And an even more sinister reason, it could be they're doing this for the tech sector. So they're importing millions of Indians, making everyone else mad, making everyone else miserable for tech billionaires. That could actually be the reason for the Davos class. So yeah, if that's the reason, then they deserve to be overthrown, and I will not feel sorry if the EU ultimately breaks up.